Memorial Day weekend. As usual, I'm just going to cover a couple topics, hand it over to Mark Church, and then we'll have open Q&A. So, actually, Mark might cover a lot of this, but no zero down on there's no zero down on cottages. That was a request by the RTO company. Mark, do you want to cover those?
Yes, I will cover all that. Right. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. So, and then, Mark, actually, I think you're going to cover all my topics. So why don't you go ahead and take it?
Who, myself? You want me to go ahead and take it?
Yeah, because I think you're going to cover. Go ahead.
Good. Okay, guys. Hope everyone has had a wonderful, I can't even speak right now, a wonderful Memorial Day. I know that's a very important holiday to myself and my family due to some military that we have close in the family. But so I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday over the last week. And I hope everybody on this call has a pencil and paper to write some notes down. Dee will be sending a follow-out, but we have a tremendous amount of information to cover on this call today. And so I hope everybody has a pencil and paper out to write down some notes. Over the last week or week and a half, I've kind of backed off on the amount of information I've pushed down to you guys, mainly because we've been working on a lot of different things for the summer. And we're about in the process of launching a lot of this information, okay? So it's very important that you have a pencil and a piece of paper that you're able to write some notes down, because I'm going to move quick through all this stuff, and a lot of it's very important. I'm also going to reiterate this in dealer calls, or not dealer calls, and podcast every day this week. So, I want everyone on this call to really, make sure you're paying attention and make sure you're taking notes. First thing I want to say is, once again, North Carolina continues to do a tremendous job. You guys continue to lead the way, and the effort you're putting in is tremendous. So I want to thank you for that. So I've got about 7 quick topics to cover, and I'm waiting on, I see a couple more people connecting up, and so we're going to go ahead and jump into this. So number one, let's talk real quick about correct information on deliveries. Okay, correct information on deliveries, and I'm going to add something to it. So number one, it's very important that the information you're putting into Compass, the information you have on the RTO, the information you have on the delivery aspect of it is correct, okay? It's very, 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 very important that the information you're putting on this is very correct. The reason I say this is because we are trying to deliver faster, deliver longer. We've got guys delivering on Saturdays, they're delivering late at night. And so for us to maximize deliveries, we've had a couple situations there lately where the address has been wrong, and the address has not been wrong by a few minutes away. It's been wrong by 45 minutes away. So it's very, very important that as you are processing these orders, the RTO information is correct, the delivery information is correct, specifically the address, the phone number is correct, and the on cash sales and ACHs and the routing information is correct. It's very important it's correct. And the reason I say that is because, and many of you, sales have been so crazy. You've had so many people on the lot that sometimes it can be messy. So accurate information is very correct. I'm going to do a podcast on this today. Be prepared. And it's very important that you know that, okay? Number 2, aged inventory, okay? Aged inventory. And this ties into something that you will see starting next week, and that is a new option we have called the Bargain Cave, okay? Actually, my fault. Excuse me. It's called the Bargain Barn, okay? This Bargain Barn will be on Compass. It will also be on the website, and this is how this works. Each week, I'm going to pick 3 buildings from North Carolina. And these buildings may all be on one lot. They may be spread all over the state, okay? So remember, you're going to have to look at delivery fees, because delivery fees will apply in these situations, okay? but we are going to take some of this aged inventory and try to liquidate it. So this is how it's going to work. Let's say Joe Roop in Hendersonville has a old vinyl building on his lot. I'm going to post that and say, guys, we're taking off $1,000 on this. We're taking off $800. Dealer will still receive their normal commissions, but you will each Monday, and there's going to be a lot of information coming down the pipe on this week, okay? So be prepared for this. Be prepared. Be taking notes on this right now. I'm not going to go into great detail. I'm going to give you a high-level view, but I will be going into additional detail starting on Wednesday, tomorrow in the podcast, actually on Thursday in the podcast. And the way this works is every Monday, you'll go into Compass. We'll send a notification out. There'll be a place in Compass where those buildings are located in the inventory, and you will be able to see, okay, here are my 3 buildings in North Carolina this week that are marked way down, okay? And in many cases, these buildings will be marked down, over 10, 15, 20% in some cases, okay? So you're going to have about a week to 10 days to sell these. It's very important. Many of you dealers on this call will honestly, the way I'm hoping it's going to work, you're going to pull it every Monday, and within 3 or 4 days, these buildings will be liquidated, and we'll stack another 3 to 5 on there on Monday. If it works, we're going to start with 3. If the process works, we're going to expand it to 5, okay? And so it's very important that as we begin to release lot buildings, as we begin to start building those, which we started last week, we built a large amount of lot buildings that many of those have already been delivered or will be getting delivered this week, and release these lot buildings out there. It's very important that you are still focused on aged inventory. Get this crap going so we can replace it with Presidential Series buildings. We can replace it with new stuff that you want, okay? So this bargain barn is going to be very, very important that you, when I speak on this on the podcast and walk you through the steps, it's going to be a great opportunity for you to get some old inventory and have the major discounts, $500, $1,000, $800 off, okay? So be prepared as we continue to focus on aged inventory, okay? Number 3, Number 3, support. We have hired a new individual in support. Many of you dealers have said, hey, look, as business has picked up, I've called in, I've struggled to get a hold of somebody, it's gone to voicemail. We have hired an individual in support. She's very well knowledgeable of Sheds Direct. It's not like a new hire off the street. She's very versed in building questions. She's very well versed in the product we sell. Her name is Emily Lentz, and you will be speaking to her. So when you do speak with Emily, just welcome her to customer service. We're very excited. She's doing a great job, super quick on the cue, very, very knowledgeable about the buildings itself, and really brings a tremendous wealth of information to that group, okay? So I want some feedback. If you're continuing to have issues calling in, let me know. But now there'll be 3 ladies in customer support at helping you at all times. Already we've seen a huge impact last week on the amount of phone calls we were able to answer and things of that nature. So number 3 is we now have an additional person in customer service to help support the dealer. Number 4, starting today, okay? Starting today. Before, when it comes to delivery, okay, we in the past have not made it specific. We have not made it mandatory for customers to be there at the lot, okay, or not to be at the lot, at their home when delivery takes place. 95% of customers want to be there. They want to check it out. But we have not made it mandatory. Starting June 1st, okay, operations, when they schedule these buildings, when subcontractors schedule these buildings, they will be scheduling based on the understanding that the customer will be there. So it's very important that you are communicating this to your customers. hey, you will need to be there for delivery. They are going to request that you're there for delivery. If you're not there for delivery, then you need to have someone there for you during delivery time. And the reason for this, excuse me, hold on. The reason for this is because we are going to have a form that they're going to have to sign off on. Moving forward, if a customer purchases a building, if they go to Backyard Oasis in Virginia and they purchase a building, we are really focused on the customer experience, doing the best we can from start to finish. Each customer will have a form they have to sign off on electronically, okay? And this form is going to ask them some questions. Hey, does your trim look okay? Does your doors look okay? Is this the building you ordered? How was your delivery? Was it satisfactory? Everything and anything on the delivery process for us to get better with deliveries, for us to get more seamless deliveries, and have less customer concerns with deliveries. One of the questions is your building level? Does the block look correct? Different things of that nature, okay? So it's very important that starting today, and we'll be reviewing this in all the dealer calls, that June 1st, when scheduling contacts the customer for delivery, they are going to request, can you be on site? If you can't, can someone be there for you? And the focus of that is for them to be able to sign off on the delivery, that the delivery was smooth, seamless, and everything is good to go. The reason we're doing this, once again, is to make sure that everything is handled at delivery. Okay, I've had a couple of circumstances over the last couple of weeks where dealers have called me and said, hey, Mark, this subcontractor delivered this building, look at the delivery, the block's not level, whatever it may be. And so what the focus of this is, if they're, number one, to have the customer say, no, everything is good. And number two, if it's not good, for us to fix it quickly and immediately there on the spot. Okay, now I understand if it's work order, things like that, that might take a few days to schedule. But if it's a block job or something like that, then the customer's issues are handled quickly and seamlessly there on the spot. This is going to the focus of this is to make sure the customer has a good experience, and if there's any concerns, those are handled, okay? So it's very important that you communicate to your teams that they need to be communicating to the dealer, or not to the dealer, to the customer, that that the customer has to be there moving forward with delivery, that the customer, if the customer can't be there, they will have someone there for them to sign off, okay? So that is number 4, all right? Number 5 is really the focus of this call, and that is some of the RTO changes that we have been working with the RTO company on moving forward starting June 1st. This will also start June 1st. Everything's getting cranked up and starting June 1st. Okay, so first thing is, let me get into my document here. First thing is, okay, RTO changes. First thing is the wording that will be on the RTO contract. Number 1, on the RTO contract, there's been some miscommunication with the there's been some miscommunication with the customer and some different things of that nature, talking about 30 days, okay? When is the payment due and different things of that nature, okay? June 1st, now there'll be some wording in there. Now, I understand some of you also use shed rentals, and we're kind of figuring out how to do that. But the wording on the RTO, the date when the payment is due will be correct. Scott's will be 30 days after delivery. The payment is due up to 30 days after delivery. Now, shed rentals is 10 days after delivery, okay? But we're working through that. So number 1, there'll be some wording changes there, and we'll be talking to you more about that later on. Number 2 is the down payment piece, okay? So I'm going to walk you through this on the down payment aspect of it, and then we're going to try to forward this out to the dealers this week, okay? So here are your major changes on the RTO down payment. Number 1, cottages, okay? Moving forward, if a customer comes in and they want to purchase a cottage, $10,000 and less, okay, $10,000 and less on non-reoccurring payments, so we're going to send this information out to everyone so they know. On a cottage, it is 2 months down across the board for under $10,000, okay? Under $10,000, it is 2 months down across the board for non-reoccurring. Reoccurring, it is 1 month down across the board, okay? 24, 38, 36, 48, 54, and 60. 1 month down across the board, okay? Number one. Number two, if it's $10,000 to $15,000 for non-reoccurring, this is where the competitive advantage is going to be. This is the improvement, okay? It's going to be only for non-reoccurring 24 and 36 months. It's going to only be 2 months down. That's probably $600 to $700 compared to the $1,000 it was, okay? So the down payment's going to be easier to get into. The down payment's going to be easier to get into on cottages that are $10,000 to $15,000. Even 54 and 60 months, it's only 3 months down. Okay, reoccurring is 1 month down on a $10,000 to $15,000 cottage. It is 1 month down, 24 and 36. Okay, before it was $1,000. Now it's going to be like $350. Okay, $375, and then it's 2 months, 48, 54, and 60. Okay, and then 15 to 19,000. It's a competitive advantage as well. 2 months and 3 months, and then the 20 to 25,000 is 4 months to 5 months. That's the only one that's probably a tick higher. Okay, so understand there's a different down payment for non-reoccurring and reoccurring on cottages, but it should be an advantage for the dealer. It should be an advantage for the dealer, okay? And it should be an advantage for the customer. The major change that you're going to see, I'm looking at this right now, the major change that you're going to see is two things. And that is dog kennels and chicken coops. On dog kennels, if a customer wants to RTO contract, they're going to need to put 1 month down plus 10%. Okay, 1 month down plus 10%. The reason for this is because the RTO company's getting back. If they get any RTO dog kennels back, they are destroyed. Okay, and they are destroyed. So understand on dog kennels, 1 month and 10% security deposit. On playhouses, 1 month and 5% security deposit. Okay, that's really the only place of concern or major change that we're seeing in the down payment structure. The down payments are going to be communicated a whole lot easier, mainly but focused on months and different things of that nature. Okay, so here is so remember, there's a non-reoccurring and reoccurring payments on cottages, and there's a non-reoccurring and reoccurring payments on normal buildings. Okay, now here is the goal. Here is the great news. And for us, and the RTO company's been great to work with. The great news for June is that, and we are trying to see how much further we can push this. For June, you will have zero down again on reoccurring payments for 24 and 36 months. Okay, reoccurring payments for 24 and 36 months. All right, so know that. So for June, customer walks in, they want a building, they want and that's not in cottages. That's not in cottages. That's only regular buildings. Okay, that's only regular buildings. All right. Customer walks in, they want a 10 by 20 vinyl barn, and they say, hey, I want to RTO this. What's my down payments? You can say, hey, if you want to do 24 and 36, auto pay, reoccurring, zero down. Okay. 0 down. And right now, this is through June, and we are focused on trying to carry this as long as possible. But right now, definitely for June. Okay. So what we're going to do is this: we are going to send this out today via MailChimp to everyone. My DMs are going to send this out to you in an email. Okay. It's already 10:23. We don't have a lot of time for questions, but it's very important that you review this document starting June 1st, some of these changes that are going to take place, okay? Some of these changes that are going to take place. Honestly, from what I'm seeing, it should be a competitive advantage across the board, except for playhouses and dog kennels, okay? Playhouses and dog kennels is going to bump it just a little bit more, all right? So, and also 90-day same as cash, $500 security deposit, but that's already implemented, okay? So just to recap, first off, it's very important for addresses, RTO contracts, and payments that your information you're putting in Compass is super accurate, especially on the delivery side. Make sure you have that correct documentation. Number 2, the bargain barn, okay? The bargain barn. Or my fault, let me take a step back. Number 2 is delivery, new delivery changes. You need to communicate that either they or someone they know needs to be on site to sign off on the delivery, okay? Sign off on the delivery. It's very important that you understand that and that you're communicating that, okay? Number 3, we have a new support person. A new individual in support that gives you a total of 3 for additional support. We've already seen major improvements on phone calls being answered and things like that with the increase of phone calls we've had over the last month. Okay, this is what we're doing to support you more. Number 4, was the bargain barn. You're going to hear more information on this towards the end of the week concerning the bargain barn. Okay, so it's very, very important that you hear this. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to have some buildings to choose from each week that we are trying to liquidate and get out of the system. And number 5 is the new RTO schedule going live June 1st. Okay, the new RTO schedule going live June 1st. All right, it's very important that you read this and you understand this. And I'm going to see if we'll probably go out with this in a MailChimp today, as well as my DMs will be going out with it, as well as probably be in the Compass notification as well. So, guys, it's 10:26. Don't have any time for questions. We got to jump to the next call for Indiana and New York. And so, if you have any questions, shoot me an email. Send Nathan an email, and we'll get everything squared away. So make sure you were taking notes today. We'll be covering these every day in podcast and sending information out as we continue to push a lot of information to be prepared for June and July. So, guys, continue to do a great job. Continue to make those phone calls, follow up, especially with 0 down. Those that didn't get made, you need to follow up with your old leads for June, making sure you're doing everything you can to be in those, to follow up with customers, reach out, follow up with old leads, talk to them about the new RTO schedule. Hey, the bargain barn is going to be a great opportunity for you to give some liquidated buildings away. So anyway, guys, continue to do a great job. Super excited about what you're doing, and be talking to you soon. Make sure you're reading your notifications as we push all this information out. So once again, we don't have any time for questions, but if you have a question, shoot me an email or send an email to Nathan. So, guys, once again, do a great job. Keep selling. Talk to you soon.